Well, initially it began about 35 years ago. I hate to say the bug was put in my ear by, of all things, a Tibetan Buddhist monk who told me that Catholicism was the only true Western religion. And so I carried that with me for many, many years through studies of Eastern philosophy, academic philosophy. About 5 or 6 years ago, I felt a real need to find something deeper in my life. And I had originally gone back to my Protestant church and found something lacking there. And this still remained on the periphery of my life for a while. And then during Pope Benedict's visit a few years ago, I had what can only be described as a chance encounter. I lived near the Vatican Embassy, and my daily commute involves going by it twice a day, and I had arranged my work schedule, my commute schedule with his so that I could avoid him at all costs. One day, I don't know what happened, I was on my way home from work, and I ran into these throngs of people, beginning a couple blocks before the Vatican Embassy, and bus slowly crawled by, but there he was. And in all honesty, I was moved by the sight of him. It was the first time in my life I honestly felt the presence of God. And I was moved to tears. And I took that with me, and I kept that with me. And I didn't know how to process it or relate it. My sister's an evangelical minister in her church, and I told her about this, and she said, "You're a natural-born Catholic." A few days after that, again, I think I was feeling a little raw emotionally from that experience, and I had another chance encounter with a man on a subway, and I have never seen anyone so destitute. He wasn't begging, he wasn't making a spectacle out of himself, but this was a man who was seriously hurting. And I suddenly had, again, an overwhelming presence of what it meant to be blessed. These were things that had never occurred to me before in my life. And again, I went to my sister, and she said, "That was your Savior." So she took that story, and she used it in her Bible study in her church. And so these were the most significant events. I never forgot them, and I've tried to keep my heart open to the way I felt under both those circumstances. I guess within that relative same time period, I started seeing signs on the metro cars for, is something missing in your life? Maybe it's God. And I kept seeing those, and they kind of touched a nerve, and so I went to the website, maybeitsgod.org, and it was actually, I didn't realize it was the Washington Archdiocese, and then I began a dialogue with someone from the Archdiocese I just happily ran into just now and met face to face for the first time, and I started exploring different parishes, and Annunciation was, they were all welcoming, warm, friendly. Annunciation was, they gave me the books, this was April, classes didn't start until September, without knowing anything about me. They gave me the books, start reading, this is what you do, we'll be in touch in September. And that started the path. They have a variety of people teaching at all levels, and so I'm being taught Catholicism at many different levels. From the professorial role, there's a professor from Catholic University there who teaches us the Greek, the Latin, he's giving us the academic historical approach, who said what, when, how does this tie into, what went before it. And then you have the regular teaching staff, which are very warm, they take the gospel seriously, and they make it real, and they make it come alive. And the process it's been one of change. I've come from a skeptical academic background, and I told my sponsor at the beginning, my heart is like a waltz, you know, it's like stone, you know, and I'm amazed at, you know, just through the intellectual and faith-based program, the wall's broken down, and every week, you know, is something new, something to learn from. So.